player, and that was a very back and forth best of five against Don Pedrino, and now after all this we have Colmar, who's been sitting on ice for the better part of an hour here, um, in grand finals. Colmar on winner's side. RJ's going to have to take 2 sets off of this Pac-Man if they're going to win the title, and Colmar only needs 3 games.
Welcome to Grand Finals, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. Colmar in a matchup that he actually won 3-0 in Winners Finals over Don Pedrino to make it to Grand Finals in the first place. If there was ever a character that he was going to want to fight in Grand Finals, at the very least, maybe it's the one that'll be fresh on his mind. Right. after the one he won in Winners Finals. He doesn't have to, remember another matchup. He doesn't have to remember, okay, how do I fight Mario? He doesn't have to remember, okay, how do I fight Lucina or whatever. He doesn't have to remember any of that. It's the same character that he fought back in Winners Finals. But like you said, he's been sitting on ice for an hour. So the question is, how fresh is he still? And how different is ARJAY's Samus compared to Don Pedrino's?
Yeah. Getting a lot of mileage in the middle parts of this stock from that bell, getting at least 3 different bell hits and recatches as well. But despite all of that, RJ keeping even and winning the first stock with that charge shot. You see the wave of momentum that RJ rode to get into this grand final set has not subsided in the least.
No, definitely not. Definitely carrying some of that momentum from losers finals for sure. Still hanging tight, 152. Friendly reminder that at the very least, as the up smash takes a stock, the very least in this matchup, which we talked about before in winners finals, I'm sure you can check out the VODs if you're watching this not live right now. I'm sure you can check that out if you want, but you got to remember, Samus, top 10 in terms of weight. This is a thick lass right here. At the very least, that suit is very thick, I should say. And that is definitely one thing that Samus has Pac-Man beat in this department. Pac-Man up close definitely has Samus beat. Pac-Man's got that frame data, he's got the forward air, he's got the neutral air. He can overwhelm Samus for sure after playing the long game. But Samus at the very least has got that survivability intact. So the question is, how long will RJ be able to really live against this Pac-Man to the point where they'll be able to maybe utilize Rage to do some significant damage?
Well, I mean, this is... We talked about Samus with high survivability here. It's going to have to come into play because even though it might not sound like it, Pac-Man does have some pretty solid damage output. Maybe not single hit kill power, maybe not stray hit kill power, but Samus does have, Pac-Man does have the tools to string together hits and string together those setups and get the stock lead. Colmar weathering the early storm from RJ and maybe trying to wrest some control back here in this game number 1.
Oh, that grab was so smart.
Yeah.
That grab was so smart. He knew that RJ would have been able to press a button there. That was so smart. And because of all that play, Colmar is going to be able to gain some more insurance right there. 30% to get that tack
shield not coming out 2 times. 2 times. That's the percent lead gone. Because Colmar was too slow to press the shield button.
You hate to see it. You got Colmar off a level. Alright, ballsy neutral get up into the charge shot. Probably knew that RJ was potentially trying to bait a jump right there in that situation.
Yep, and that's the bell invalidated there. Gonna have to charge up another one. And RJ, okay, there's the bell out. Bell caught. Bell recaught, but no. That's 2 straight bells that Colmar has been able to get no mileage out of.
Oh
that's
my god, the bomb!
That's game 1.
Wow, the bomb coming in clutch for RJ right there. Good stuff for the down smash as well. That was just a really good catch. I'm really not sure what else to say about that. You see so many Samuses go for that, and most of the time it doesn't work, and their opponent finds some way around it, whether it's just timing, their ledge get up better, or if they just don't grab the ledge at all, air dodge above it or something like that. At the very least right there, RJ showed you why they do it and why they go for it. Sometimes it works.
Yeah. And it's the willingness to go for it and the execution to hit it 2 times for a KO, that bomb down smash setup. Colmar's gonna have to find an answer when it comes to either recovery or getting off the ledge, because if RJ is able to get those stocks consistently with that setup, this is gonna be a long 6 games. So Colmar's either going to have to make his own life easier recovering to the stage, or play much better on stage and in advantage. if they're going to take some games here. But I mean, it's worth mentioning, like, Colmar has taken a set off of took a set over Don Pedrino 3-0 already, which is not the exact same matchup, but it's like 99% the same. And Colmar does have the set to work with here. So we're going to see a lot of different stage play, I'm guessing, and we're going to see a lot of adaptations, I hope, from both players here as they try to counteract each other's game plans.
3, 2,
For sure, my friend, for sure. This is can definitely be an elongated one, as we talked about before. Potential for 3-0 again on RJ is not going to happen, as it happened on Don Pedrino. RJ at least able to take one game, definitely turning it on after his set with Don Pedrino, for sure, and trying to carry some of that momentum over to his set with Colmar right here. But yeah, it could definitely be a long one. These are both technically zoner characters. Pac-Man, a little bit more of a trapper depending on the way you play them. But Samus can certainly be played in a slightly similar way as well. More so a zoner for sure, though, as this neutral is going tit for tat between these two players right now. None of them really going for any big stringy combos, just hitting each other back and forth. Dash attack going to take RJ up to 85, and Colmar still on the chase. Bell not going to work out for him, though.
And another really even start to these games. Damage basically identical before that up smash, and before that second up smash. Now damage is not the same, and neither are the stocks. Colmar looking once again to try and weather the storm that RJ is bringing here in Grand Finals.
Yeah, and small battlefield being the play right here. I totally understand it. Pac-Man can... I like this pick, for a couple of reasons. One, smaller stage, less ground to cover for Pac-Man, I suppose, as the neutral B almost takes the stock. Wow. Less ground for Pac-Man to be able to cover in a matchup like this, which most of the time, Pac-Man can definitely deal with a long stage in most matchups. But when he's dealing against another zoner like this, Pac-Man has one big advantage, and that is his forward air. The fact that he has good frame data,
right.
The neutral air, stuff like that. That is something that, most zoners, or a lot of zoners in this game, don't really have, or at the very least in comparison to, like, Pac-Man, I should say. Here, Colmar can afford to play a little bit more aggressively if he has to, and overwhelm RJ a little bit more, which is good, because Pac-Man is the kind of character who likes to play an RTS, set up his base in defense, and other characters can't do too much but either respect it or try to force their way in. Samus doesn't have to do that. She can just, like, charge her charge shot while Pac-Man is, like, charging his, like, his bonus fruit. So now, This is the kind of stage where, Samus won't have as much space to really be able to do that. Definitely understand the counter pick from Colmar.
And it's funny because we were saying the exact same things when Colmar was playing Ruse in Winter Semifinals, because that's where, like, we were saying, okay, you would figure that Pac-Man likes to have extra room to set up that wall, but no, Colmar willing to take the space away from Wolf, and now that same approach seems to be paying off really, really well against Samus, another character who may like to play at range. So this same sort of strategies, I think, paying off the same exact way for Colmar here.
I think so too, my friend, and as you can tell, looking pretty good, up a whole stock, getting a little lapped in the percent for it, though. RJ slowly but surely piling it back on, and I gotta say, that's the second time I've seen Colmar do that tonight. Oh my god, what kind of dumb option coverage was that? Did you see the way that the water pushed the bell to actually cover that option on the platform right there? That was
actually really sick.
That was actually nuts. That's the kind of stuff that Colmar is known for. Not even just defensive play, but he plays Pac-Man in the way that Pac-Man was designed to, as a trapper. He knows the traps. That's one big thing that Colmar creates. It's the traps. Like, right there, he literally covered, like, every defensive option out of tech on the platform that RJ could have
And getting the perfect angle on the 102. That's the second bell back air from that stock, and that is a 2 stock from Colmar. That is a very, very convincing response to make this set 1-1.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Waka Waka Waka. Game number
That's
3.
Right.
Or Waka Waka. Oh, I had the opportunity for a good pun there, but I dropped it. Damn it. All right, whatever. Game number 3, ladies and gentlemen. Good stuff, to say the least. I totally forgot what I was going to say, because I literally had, like, a point that I was going to make about something that Colmar was doing. But then he did that crazy bell hydrant trap on the right battlefield platform, and I totally forgot what it was. Just got
We call that a mental blue screen.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I just totally, like, AOL crashed, Nintunis.exe stopped working. But, yeah, because it literally just, like, I had to comment on it. It just blew my mind. That's the kind of stuff that Colmar just goes for. You know, Pac-Man players' brains, they're quite thick when you really get down to the root of them.
It's a trickster character.
They're up
to their tricks. Yeah. Now, so
it's like Waluigi will be once he's in this game. Put a
you
dice
say
block
once.
on one.
Okay, I'm not touching that one.
Put the
what
dice
I want to
block
talk
on
about
one
is
yes,
what I want to talk
on.
about is RJ. It seems to have a bigger character pool here. I don't know if we're going to see it, but it is a potential. Okay, it is not. We're not going to see it in game number 3, but I wonder what the stage here is, because we've had the last one was Small Battlefield. I think we've had PS2 as well so far. So a lot of standard stages. I think this is the first game on Town that we're seeing in this set, and this is going to be really interesting because both of these characters can excel on this stage. They can use the space, and this is a response from RJ saying, I want the space. I don't like Small Battlefield. Get me away from like Small Battlefield, FD, Smashville. Give me the space on stage because I need to use it.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that Colmar decided to not ban the stage. I mean, I think Small Battlefield really worked out for him with the game plan that he was going for, and Town and City kind of throws that game plan out the window because it's like virtually the opposite of Small Battlefield. It's a very long stage with a very huge high horizontal, vertical blast zone, my mistake. Maybe not the exact polar opposite, but it's definitely very different in terms of its layout. The base platform, like, look at how huge this is. I mean, honestly, that's a lot different than Small Battlefield for sure, so I'm a little surprised he didn't ban it. Perhaps Colmar wanted to ban something like... Excuse me. Perhaps Colmar wanted to ban something like PS2 instead, and as a result only had one other ban, and probably wanted to get rid of Battlefield. You know, just so, like, his landings wouldn't get caught out by those platforms, and, like, just to avoid getting sharked by Samus as well on them. I imagine that's probably the reason that we're in Town and City right now, which, all things considered, not a bad stage for Pac-Man at all, but it might be in this
It's definitely
matchup.
paying off for RJ here.
Yeah.
Because it seems like in this game number 3, RJ's been able to slow the pace of the game down, get those charge shots, get the damage from range, and get Colmar to the point where you can really look for it like a up B or a back air or a charge shot to really get the kills safely the way that Samus likes to. Oh, but be careful the key. That's pretty big damage. Even though Colmar at 174, you figure is like kind of on the ropes here, but RJ pretty much on the ropes as well.
Looking pretty
poised. And now you're looking for that apple. That apple can absolutely KO here. Those bonus fruit are going to start looking real scary here.
That was a good call on the apple right there as the up throw was going to take the stock. He was at the perfect angle for it as well because of the center Town and City platform. But it's going to be RJ taking first blood. Still hanging on tight to that first stock, but not for long this time. Oh no! Colmar actually dropping his punish right there. I thought for sure that was going to be a down smash to cover both sides of RJ potentially crossing him up on landing there, but he decided to just go for like the more singular hit guarantee kill in the up smash, but just didn't react to it in time, or his input just didn't come out in time or something, and as a result, RJ still hanging on tight. 180
can we talk about the defense here from RJ? Taking a page out of the John Pedrino book where the Samus is just living to untenable percents for Colmar. Pac-Man is a character, like, you can get those crazy setups, but if you're not finding them, you're going to have to get your kills, you know, honestly, like everyone else. And hey, there's another bomb down smash setup from RJ. Hitting it again. When RJ seems to have the momentum, RJ uses it to its full advantage. And sitting with a full stock lead here, RJ may be looking to bring this to a reset point.
Might be, honestly, with the way things are going right now. Colmar got a mountain to climb as well. And Pac-Man, you know, kind of likes to play that slow and steady pace game, wins the race, especially Colmar, considering how defensive of a player and how much of a trapper he is with Pac-Man. A little bit of a traditionalist when it comes to the character. But this game getting a little elongated here. We got 3 minutes and 24 seconds left on the clock right now. Even if Colmar takes this stock, he's going to have to work pretty hard to take a second one as this thing goes on. I think we might be slowly but surely getting to timeout territory, considering the discussion, I should say, of Smash Order today would be pretty ironic. Yes, my mistake.
I still think
the discussion, yes.
Yes, it's funny considering the discussion, but no, it's worth discussing. I mean, it's worth talking about because, you know, if this were, you know, a 5-minute timer, as maybe has been discussed, we would have 52 seconds on the clock here, and Colmar would be like absolutely forced to be going in right now.
Yeah,
and so like that's something to consider. It definitely makes the final goings of these games more desperate. I don't think this game will go to time, considering that Colmar is going to have to play 2.5 minutes at 3-digit damage. Like, even if Colmar is able to get the KO here, as they almost do with the side B confirm from the bell.
Yeah, that was really close. I feel like
that's
honestly,
less of a confirm,
like Colmar,
more of a conjecture.
Yeah, I feel like Colmar had the right angle right there, but this should be it. Yeah, there you go.
And sure enough, even on town, ARJAY finding that up throw kill, and it's been a story of mostly up throws and bomb down smashes at the ledge that has gotten ARJAY most of the mileage, that have given him a 2-1 set lead here in grand finals.
Yeah, honestly, looking pretty good for ARJAY so far. Taking advantage of his counter pick full flush right there, and taking advantage of the fact that Colmar, for reasons we discussed before, didn't ban it. Yeah, he did everything right. You know, he looked like he was gonna get that side B power pellet confirmed, but unfortunately, like, for him, ARJAY was able to air dodge out of it. Samus looking pretty good so far. ARJAY definitely just something in his brain clicked during that set with Don Pedrino. Won that counter pick war, and as a result, he's continuing that momentum so far into grand finals here. Colmar, to my knowledge, does not play any other characters. I doubt it's going to be a counter pick. Yeah, it's still looking like Pac-Man Samus here. From what I remember, I don't remember seeing any other characters on him, at least.
And for what it's worth, Colmar has never really, like, that game was not that close. I mean, that was definitely Colmar playing from behind for most of it, but Colmar has never really looked completely lost. And Pac-Man as a character, it's really hard to be forced off of Pac-Man, because Pac-Man can always fall back on the, like, you know, play the slow game, set up the hydrant, do the charge shot, that sort of thing. They don't always do that, but they always have the option of slowing the game down, and that at least gives them time in any matchup, even if it may be a losing one. Hey, how do you like a 0 to death after how one-sided that game number 3 was? Colmar is saying, I don't want a reset here. It is 11:30, and I don't want a fusion bracket that ends after midnight.
I like Nintuna's voice. I like hearing it, and I don't want him to completely destroy it, because he already did a lot of recording today and casted damn near 20 games of Zoner Dittos. So maybe that's why Colmar's doing this. But real talk, maybe Colmar didn't ban Battlefield in that 4th game. I mean, he counterpicked it right back here after that game. Maybe he thought, like, okay, maybe this will work after that game, because this is the sort of, like, archetype of stage, right, that didn't fit into small Battlefield or town and city type of territory. Maybe he feels like, okay, maybe I'll be able to catch, like, ARJAY's landings here with the way that he's playing, you know, with the way he's intercepting me. Maybe, like, I can take advantage of how often he's been in the air. But good play on ARJAY. Speaking of being in the air, going down to the left side of the stage, still hanging in the air for that neutral air.
Yep, definitely not giving up.
He's got to stop going for up smashes on those, like, on those whiffed uppies.
Yeah,
he is 0 for 2 on those.
And it's, yeah, especially you have to know that Samus players are going to use up B underneath platforms, because they get that safety of landing on the platform, and it's a deceptively low lag move when it comes to the end lag.
Not even that, but, like, you know, up smash is like a more precise hitbox for Pac-Man than it looks. It doesn't linger as long as it may appear. It does linger, but not nearly as long as it appears. And on top of everything else, it does only hit directly above him. Like, I feel like he's trying to get, like, the scooping hitbox of that move while ARJAY is in the air. Yeah.
200 on the board. ARJAY's still alive, just now getting off the board. But, you know, that was a great stock in terms of survivability, but ARJAY also didn't do anything to Colmar's second stock. This is basically, this is a full stock lead and then some for Colmar.
Very scary
and looking to maybe force a stage spike there. Colmar really wants this game over quickly, especially after what a slog game number 3 was.
For sure, and it's looking like he is getting that wish. 4 minutes left on the clock. Definitely a different scenario than it was in that last game, for sure. Competing once again.
this has really been this set of grand finals has really been a counterpick war, which is the sort of thing that you start thinking about as RJ is almost killed by that confirm. So this
Again?
another one. This has got to do it,
Wow.
and it absolutely does. Another convincing response here from Colmar. Colmar's counterpick games have been phenomenal, like straight up phenomenal. However, they've been counterpick games, and you can't counterpick in a game 5 if you lost game 1. So if Colmar doesn't want to get stuck in another set here against RJ, they're gonna have to win on RJ's counterpick stage, which is most likely going to be a PS2 or a Town and City, one of those really long stages that lets Samus set up those charge shots and use those bombs and those missiles. So it's gonna have to be Colmar's gonna have to win a game on RJ's terms if they're going to win this set.
Looking like it, my friend. Is there a counterpick? Nope, nothing doing. The Samus is still the play. Having faith in his main is RJ. And Colmar, of course, faith in his with the default Pac-Man. We are on potentially the final game of Fusion.exe number 74. The final online Fusion. That is if Colmar decides to win this game. And if he doesn't, we gotta reset.
This may be the final Fusion game played online you may ever see in your life. Think about that.
Whether that's a good or a bad thing is up to you.
And it all depends on whether Colmar is able to weather the storm here on Town and City and find some way to play at range against RJ. Because RJ is going to do everything that they can to really keep the space, use the charge shots, and win the damage race as they're already looking to do. Not quite yet, but taking the Hydrant out of play here.
Smart on Colmar to recognize that the Hydrant was in fact going to get launched by the charge shot right there.
Right.
It just was still caught in the hit lag. Very good game knowledge, right? Like right there, you know, like so many lower level Pac-Mans or just people who aren't experienced with the game, I should say. I shouldn't even say lower level Pac-Mans would have ran in there. But clearly Colmar knows how his projectiles like intertwine with Samus's here.
That's the
As
sort
you
of
saw,
thing,
he actually traded the charge shot with a cherry. He knew that. He knew that was going to work. Oh god,
But
you're
with
dead.
that hit lag,
no.
that's a little slow. Those are the sorts of things that you cannot drop against RJ, even though Colmar, like I said, is winning the damage race here. Won that Hydrant as well, and is looking to take the first stock here.
All right, looking
But
pretty
with
good.
the high ceiling of Town and City, those up airs are not going to get you anything more than damage, especially when RJ has shown a propensity to live to over 200%.
Yeah, you guys already saw, like, I was about to say, like, you saw, like, he lived over to 200% on Battlefield, which has a relatively high ceiling, as the back air takes the stock, which has a relatively high ceiling regardless, but Towns is even bigger. So you know that a character in top 10 weight like Samus, top 7 specifically, or the 7th heaviest in the game, if you want me to be precise, since I can look at ultimate frame data at home here, if you know, all you nerds want that. Here, Town and City, you know that Samus is going to live a lot longer than it was on Battlefield. But as big as these vertical blast zones are, the horizontal ones are quite tiny, my friend Clam had. So
that
most
is
of these
true.
characters will be able to kill off the side here relatively easily. The question is which one will be able to beat them to the punch. And I feel like Samus is better at killing off the side than Pac-Man. Well, actually, maybe not even. I feel like Pac-Man is
It
solid.
depends a lot
killing
on
off
charge shot.
Yeah, I feel like Pac-Man is good at killing off the top or the side, and Samus is a little bit better at killing off the side.
Yeah. Now, I mean, another thing to talk about here is that Colmar has only dropped 3 games tonight. 2 of them have been to RJ, and so Colmar, this is only the 4th game that Colmar has had to play, or maybe the 3rd game. I'm not sure. My counting might be wrong. But this is Colmar has had to play very, very few games, or they've had to play a lot of games on opponents' counterpicks, and so you have to hope. Wow, I don't know where that snake came from. Colmar might just be stunting here.
Les oranges.
Yeah. Hey, what does that mean?
That's the oldest meme. Oh, you're dead. No, oh wow. That's one thing I gotta say. I feel like as these sets have gone on, Colmar's bell confirms are low-key getting worse. Like, I don't know if he just hasn't been reacting to those on Wi-Fi or something like that.
Game 3 notwithstanding, or Game 4 notwithstanding.
Exactly. Like, besides, like, don't get me wrong, like, he's still landing them, but he usually, like, always lands them. Like, he usually does not whiff, like, bell confirms at all, and
right.
He's whiffed quite a lot in different ways tonight, but either way, he's still winning.
And now, speaking of survivability, this is a 3.5-minute stock for Colmar. 3.5-minute opening stock. Colmar is absolutely RJ is getting choked out here in game number 5 on their tournament stock here, or on their tournament game.
Online
game.
fusion. If the last online fusion ends with a timeout, I can't think of anything. I can't think of a more poetic way to end it
my
online.
Words exactly. Yes.
Than a damn timeout, and there's 2 minutes and 40
Do
seconds
it, Colmar.
on the clock.
Do it.
I think it's gonna happen.
Send us home.
I think it's gonna happen, Clamhead.
It could.
Oh no! Unless RJ
again,
cheeses the stock right now.
Okay, that's a doesn't get the spacing for the bomb down smash setup, but hey, RJ has something to say here, and that RJ might have one word to say, and it might be reset, because the damage lead is essentially gone, the stock lead is gone, and now it's RJ's game to lose here. It's RJ's counter pick. RJ knows how to play this stage, and now it's Pac-Man having to run into Samus.
Oh boy!
But very, very opportune key there, able to even up the stocks.
Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen.
We are coming in for a landing here.
Will my voice survive? Will I not have to commentate potentially 5 more games of this? Only time will tell. Colmar's got a little bit of percent to make up. 2 minutes left on the clock. We're not quite in full timeout territory just yet. But I gotta say, RJ, he's doing a really good job keeping the pressure on Colmar off the level. That is really where he's been crumbling so far. Oh, and a beautiful upbeat burst option out of the corner. That was so smart.
Yeah. I would say that we're closer to timeout territory here because it's RJ in the lead.
God.
Now it's not, but now, like I said, those deceptively high damage combos from Pac-Man completely taking control away.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
There's an up smash. That's not going to do the job, but now it's RJ over 3 digits.
Oh my god. I'm so nervous right now.
Looking to take Hydrant control here. Hydrant
There's
still looming. Oh, that's a big hit. Colmar has the control, just needs to find one more strong hit here. That's the up smash. That's the hit. That is a tournament, and a nice up smash there from Colmar. I had to say it. Colmar finds the Game 5 win on the counter pick and is able